Oh my gosh, sorry, I'm a little bit late. I was like looking for an app that I can use to I'm trying to rearrange my office and because I have a new piece of furniture coming, but I don't know where to put it all. So I was like Googling best app for rearranging your rooms. So um, I don't know. I was like, hey, maybe AI can rearrange my room for me or something. I don't know. Hey Tina, how are you? Hello, hello. How are you? What's going on? Do you know of any apps that you can download and use to figure out where to place furniture and things in your room? I'm rearranging my office and I I don't know if I'm rearranging my office yet. I am rearranging my office this weekend. That's my goal. Hey Mika. Oh my gosh, my friends are here. Hello, hello. I don't know why it keeps commenting hello either, but it makes me feel like you're super excited. Oh, hello, hello, hello. Yeah, I'm excited. I got like a desk kind of thing, an antique desk that I got and I'm moving it in on Friday. And so I'm trying to figure out where to put it, right? I want to I need to rearrange my office because I want it to I want to put this new desk in. Is it a desk? Is it a cabinet? I don't know. It could be anything. It could be anything. So I'm like bringing it in, and I also want to use my office. Like I'd like to have like an area, like a a little bit of land where I can do yoga in the morning or in the evening. Like, I feel like if I have it set up, I'll do it. I don't know. So, anyway, I'm super excited. I'm excited that you guys are here. I am so happy to see you always. I feel like I haven't seen you in a long time. But I also am like, I can't believe it's Wednesday already. I don't know. All right. Tina doesn't know any apps. I know. I have two friends that have used apps to rearrange their furniture. And they told me what they were. And I thought maybe if I Googled them, I would recognize the name. Like if I Googled app. Um, but I didn't really recognize any names. So I need to just send them a message and say, do you remember the name of the app that you used? Or maybe it was a website they used, something. Anyway, I don't know. All right. How are you? Tina, how are you doing? Mika, how are you doing? How was your weekend? How has your week been? Monday and Tuesday. And Mika's almost done with Wednesday. Tina's just halfway done with Wednesday. For stuff like this, I prefer pen and paper. Oh, you make little cutouts for the furniture? Oh boy, you've got way more patience and creativity than I have. I used to use grid paper and measure out how many squares would be the size of my chair. Is this what you do? Like you actually measure your furniture and measure it out and make make like a grid space. I used to do that. And I could do it again, but it just seems like a lot of work if there's some kind of artificial intelligence thing that could maybe do it for me. I'm leaning in to the artificial intelligence. I don't know, before they take over the world. Tina's doing good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I had fun at the birthday party I went to over the weekend. It was nice. I missed my train coming home, but I got another one. So, yeah, that was good. Mika's an artist. with major artist block since January. Oh no, she likes to fiddle with the paper. Well, Mika, maybe I'll send you my dimensions and you can fiddle around and tell me where to put my yoga mat that I don't have yet. I need to get a yoga mat. It's another one of those things I keep saying, I'm going to get. Yeah, I'm doing good. I've had a good week. Monday, Tuesday, today's Wednesday. It goes really fast. And all day yesterday, I was like, what day is it? I did not know if it was Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday. All day long, I kept being super confused about the day. So, yeah. But I'm excited to see you guys. Anybody know a joke? Anybody got anything fun to read? I'm back to my Portuguese book because I'm not going to read this every week in our reading sprints, even though it's really helpful for me to read it during our reading sprints. Mika's almost caught up. She had a productive week. Good. Almost caught up with my reviews, finally. Mika, how many books do you read and write reviews for? Like how many in a month do you think? I'm curious. Whoops, come here. I don't think I was doing anything super special over the weekend, but in the last week, Tina read 2 really good books. Okay, Tina, what are the 2 really good books? Because in the last week, I've only read 1. No, I've read a couple really good books. I don't think I gave any of them 5 stars, though. They were close. If I didn't give them 5, it was close. Ooh, 4.5 for one, 4.5 for the other. Okay, let's see. I'm enjoying my Portuguese book. I am. And remember when I was reading and I was like, I can't figure out if she's getting in an actual boat and sailing across the sea, or if she's just like using this like get in a boat and go to sea as a metaphor for like the voyage of her life. She is, as I kept reading, like the next section or the next chapter was like, yeah, she's definitely really getting in a boat and going on a sea voyage, even though she's apparently never been in a boat before, which is why I was confused. And now I'm just worried for her. It's hard to read, but the story is a story. I think it's fun. The first like 3 chapters were great. Like, I really liked them. I was like, oh, this is the kind of book I'm gonna like, right? It's not like a cozy mystery like you like, but it was like, I was like, oh, this is gonna be a book that's very character driven, and all of the characters seem to have their own thing going on, and it's gonna be cool. And then we went like out to sea. So I was confused. But yes, I am enjoying it. I do like it. The story is good, I think. We'll see. Today I've got one of the chapters I have to read today is only like 2 pages long. So we'll see what happens. Oh, you're still doing the Rocky Road to Ruin. Oh no, you finished it, and that was a 5-star one. Very cool. Very cool. And then Lemon Drop Dead by Amanda Flower, the Amish Candy Shop series. I love these books you read. And that one got 5 stars too. Very cool. Very cool. So then it's going to be hard to choose your favorite book of the month. Do you do that? I don't know. Mika read 14 books in March. So far, I've always written at least a short review for everything I read. All right. 14 in March. That's a lot of books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 15 in March, but 8 of them were books of poetry. So they were a little bit shorter. Um, yeah, 14 books. You need a bigger reading journal. I only have space for 10 books in um, in a month. I want to change that. Allow myself to just review. It was an arc, or I gave it. All right. So you're not going to like write reviews for 3 stars and below for anything you didn't like. Okay. Do you give a lot of books 3 stars or 4 star, below 4 stars? I would say I normally don't, but all of a sudden, the last couple of months, I'm either not reading, I'm not reading books I like, or I'm getting to be very, very particular. Because this month I gave out 2 star books. Last month, I think I gave a couple of 2 stars. Oh no, last month I did all right. March I did all right. April, I gave out 2 stars, but they were poetry, and I couldn't. One of them I couldn't get, like I couldn't get into the rhythm of it. Like however we were supposed to read it, like there were words that rhymed, but then they didn't, and I couldn't get the cadence when I was trying to do it, and the subject matter I wasn't crazy about. And then the other one I gave 2 stars to. I was so depressing that I was like, this is not for me, not where I'm at. I don't know why I chose that book, but it was not for me. Now I'm reading Booked for Trouble by Eva Gates. Takena Hannah, Volume 1 by you. Oh, is that what you're reading tonight, or that's what you're reading to finish out the month? Booked for Trouble. Takena Hannah, Volume 1. I don't know either one of those. Mika, do you know these books? Have you read any of these books? So do you guys remember a couple weeks ago, or maybe last week, when Tanya, like we were reading and then we came back and like Tanya had popped in and left a message like, sorry, I'm late or something. And then like she disappeared. She thought there was something wrong with like her computer thing, because I was reading my Portuguese book. And so when I went to like look, like Google or DeepL is what I used to translate. When I was putting in like words I didn't know, I was like looking up, and it looked like I was looking at her or like talking to her or something. And she was like, what's going on? Vivian can't see me. She can't I'm like invisible, or she sees me, but I can't respond, something. But I was like, oh no, I wasn't even looking. I was like, I had a completely different window open on my computer, and I was like typing in Google Words to translate. All right, that's what Tina is reading tonight. All right. Are you starting with Booked for Trouble? I used to write reviews for even 2-star books, but now that I write in German and English, yeah, I need to make things a bit easier. For sure. For sure. Yeah. I like to write, yeah, if you're doing too much. You can't write all of the reviews. No, you can't. You just can't. Last month, the only bad books I had were for school. That's good. So like halfway through the month, I felt like I had been reading books that were good, but that weren't like fun and lighthearted. Like I wasn't reading any like romantic comedy kinds of books that made me just feel happy. I was reading books that like made me think, or that I really liked. Like Remarkably Bright Creatures was okay, but even like in January and February and March, I felt like I was reading some kind of heavy books where they were like, and it just kind of like, they were great books. All the Light We Cannot See. I'm super excited to see, is it Netflix made a movie? Because that All the Light We Cannot See is like a contender for my book of the year this year. But it's like not, it's not a light humor kind of book. And I felt in the middle of the month, and maybe that's when I was reading those super depressing poetry books, I was like, I gotta have some silly book that's just gonna make me laugh, right? That I know that I'm gonna love these characters. They're gonna be quirky and funny. And I was like Tina, not that your cozy mystery characters are quirky and funny, but Angela Lansbury is a little quirky and funny. So I like went back to an author that I read some last year that I loved. And I pulled out one of her newest books, Snap Out of It, by Maddie Dawson. And it was exactly what I needed. Exactly what I needed. So yeah, I had not bad books that I was reading, but just like heavy books and like literary books. Not that Colleen Hoover is a literary book, but her books are not, they're easy to read, but they're not romantic comedies. They're not comedies, really. So, all right, Mika, what are you reading? I haven't decided what to read today. NetGalley book for sure. Okay, need to check my spreadsheet. Oh boy, how many books are on this spreadsheet? I try to sometimes read an arc that's been waiting forever, and sometimes one that was recently released. How many do you have to choose from? I think you should choose number 7 on the list. That's how I would do it. I would just pick like okay, on spreadsheet line item 7, that's the one I'm going to read tonight. Unless there was one I really, really wanted to read. Which, by the way, Taylor Jenkins Reid, I was also looking her up because I was like, all right, this Daisy Jones and the Six, I got to read it. Everyone's raving about it. Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, I got to read it. Everybody's raving about it. So I was like, all right, let me see what's going on here with Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's got so many books. I didn't realize she had so many. I feel like I am going to have to start, maybe next year, I'm going to do an all by Taylor Jenkins Reid challenge. I'm actually thinking of doing an all by Maddie Dawson challenge this summer because she's got like 6 books, I think, and 2 of them I've already read. So it means 4 books. All right, Mika, look and see what's number 7. See if it's something good. Oh boy. What is it? Is it like The Shining by Stephen King? What is it? Not good. You don't want to read it? Because we got decisions to be made because we got to start reading. Literary fiction, not an easy read. I hear you, sister. You just said a mouthful. But usually a good read. It's usually good. I think. It's a genre I like to read. But sometimes I need just a silly book, Nora Roberts. Not today, Mika says. All right, Mika, find yourself a Maddie Dawson, fun, lighthearted, zip through because you're laughing your fool head off. That's what you need to read. All right, here's what needs to happen today. I have to leave. I have to sign off at 6:45 because I signed up for like a writer's group that starts at 7. So we have like an hour and 20 minutes. So we can definitely get through one reading sprint, some more chatting. And then maybe for the second one, we'll do a shorter one or something. but that's what we got to do. So, Mika, you got to pick your book. I'm ready. Tina's ready. All right, I'm going to give you a minute while I set the timer. Should we do 25? Should we do 7? No, we should do. Oh, Mika, what's number 25? I need to figure out how I can make it so that I can have a timer where you guys can see it too. I know there's a way to do it, but I got to explore this. Having issues, not really, but all right. Tina's okay with 25. Mika has chosen. Oh, all right. Going Zero by Anthony, brand new, released today. All right. All right. So we've all got our books. We're all ready. I'm setting the timer for 25. Here we go. Start. All right, we're going. Okay. We're done reading our first one. All right, let's see. Lula, hello, Lula. Welcome to our reading sprint. Oh my goodness, did you read something? I don't know when you arrived. We were in the middle of reading. Did you read something with us or did you wait? I don't know. Hello, hello. All right, let's see. Mika's reading Going Zero. How was it, Mika? Yes, good. Number 25 would be When We Were Birds, also released today. So did you read number 25 then? What did you read? What did everybody read? I finished my chapter, my 1, 2.5 pages. And I keep reading all of these books that have poems in them. I feel like somehow National Poetry Month has taken over every single book that I've randomly picked up this month to read. So yeah, there are like 1, 2, 3 poems in this chapter that I just started reading. And one of them I actually kind of liked. I'm not for sure that I understand it, but I liked it. All right, Tina, it's 6% of booked for trouble. Crocheting sweater for your cat. Tina, I wish I could see that. That is hilarious. Lula's reading The Walking Dead Compendium 3. I tried to return it to my friend without finishing it, but he wouldn't let me. So I guess I have to finish it. Oh my gosh. So what are you thinking about this? And how close are you to being finished with it? And why are you reading it in the first place? Did your friend recommend it, or it's like you already knew you wanted it and so you borrowed it? There are so many questions about what's going on. I only read 13 pages of Going Zero, but I like it so far. Okay. Ooh, okay. This is what it's about. The government is testing new spyware, and 10 volunteers test it by trying to disappear for 10 days, evading the task force. Wow. It's like kind of like not a spy thriller. Maybe it's a spy thriller. Wow. So are they gonna, so you've got 10 volunteers. So you've got like 10 different storylines, maybe. Ooh, that could be very cool. All right. And if you manage to not get caught, you get $3 million tax free. Ooh, so there's a lot of incentive for the 10 volunteers to not get caught. Okay, that sounds kind of cool. What's the name of this book again? It's out today. Going Zero? Going Zero by Anthony McCartan. And it's out today, so we could go get it. Ooh, it sounds good. I feel like that's something that Jason Bourne would be involved in. Like this is the new Jason Bourne movie or something. I don't know. Very cool. Very cool. Very cool. And the heroine is a librarian. Oh, cool. So she must have something about her that convinced him that she was the right fit. All right. So the government randomly picked these 10 people out of the millions of people in the world. They were like, you are going to do this. Wow. Very cool. All right, I'm about of the third of the way through. I'd been looking for it at the library after reading 1 and 2, but they didn't have it, so they got it from a friend. All right, and then why were you trying to return it? Because like you don't like it, or because you thought your friend might need it, or like you're well into it, a third of the way. Can't give up now. Can't stop now. Can't stop, won't stop. Oh my gosh. These sound very cool. So, Lula, I'm reading Mulheres Que Compram Flores. It's a book in Portuguese. a novel, and I'm reading it because I'm learning Portuguese, and it's how I'm trying to like learn vocabulary and sentence structure and things like that. So I'm like reading it, and then I'm taking notes on like words that I don't know what they mean or phrases or whatever. So that's what I'm reading. I don't know. Tina's been reading and hearing books about spies. Well, yeah, this is like you're hearing about spies, and I'm hearing poems everywhere, everywhere. Hello, Alyssa. My name's Vivian. Nice to meet you. Welcome to our reading sprints. We just finished one, and so now we're sort of just chit-chatting about all of the different random books that we're reading. So Mika's got a good one that she just started about spies and testing spyware. All right, so there's 10 volunteers that could audition to be one of the testers, and then 10 of them were picked. She can't just be a regular librarian. I feel like, Mika, that's a good book. All right, he asked for the third one back. Oh, so you tried to give it back, but when he found out you hadn't finished it, he wouldn't take it back. That's a good friend. That's like a really good friend who's like, oh, no, no, keep reading. Oh, I like that. I like it. All right, you'll see, Lula and Alyssa, that we are a welcoming crew. Mika says hello. All right, I'm reading Stranger in the Lake. I feel like I recently saw the cover for that when I was like scrolling Amazon looking for something to read, but I don't know anything about it, but I was like, ooh, ooh. Is it good? Are you liking it, Alyssa? Cat sweater. Yes, we need pictures. Tina is knitting her cat a sweater. Tina finished knitting her cat a sweater. Tina says, did something happen to you? Oh, all right, Mika, do you know if something bad happens if one of the 10 people does get caught? Hunger Games or Squid Games? What did you guys think about Squid Games? I couldn't watch it. Once I saw like the trailer thing, I was like, I'm not going to be able to watch Squid Games. And Hunger Games, I watched like this. I'm not good at scary things. Mika, does something happen to these 10 people if they get caught with the spyware? Hello, Kimberly. Welcome to our reading sprint. Oh, Kimberly's working on The Writing Retreat by Julia Bartz. How far into it are you, and how much do you have to go, and are you loving it? Because here, like I'm scrolling ahead quickly. Lulu Reads has The Writing Retreat, but hasn't started it. Do you like it? We all want to know. All right, Alyssa says, so many thoughts on what could be happening. I'm lost and I love it. Alyssa is obsessed with any books involving lakes. She's always given them 4 or 5 stars. Really? I don't like lakes. I feel like lakes, because you can't see the bottom. There's all that like muddy water and everything. Oh my gosh. All right. Mika says, I don't think anything bad happens, but maybe that'll be a sinister surprise later on. So far, she believes that if she gets caught, oh, okay. So they just think if they get caught, they have a chance to get the money anymore. Okay. All right. All right. Less than 100 pages. Ooh, The Writing Retreat. You're almost done. Less than 100 pages. Very cool. I know a good bit of spoilers for Squid Games because my brother watched it, but I have no interest. I can't do scary things. I can't. I think because my imagination gets too into it. I like Squid Games because it had quite a lot of depth behind the violence. I couldn't make it past the trailer. The trailer part where I saw where they were doing Red Rover. Was it Red Rover? No, they're doing like freeze tag, whatever the one is, where like they had to stop when the music stopped, or else they were like, if they moved like a muscle, they got shot and killed. I was like, oh, can't do it, can't do it, can't do it. Kimberly, you have to finish the right you have to finish it. You have to finish it and let us know. Kim says, I am gonna. All right. I have a tendency to find books about people getting lost in the mountains and nearly freeze to death. That is disturbing. Squid Games is a one-hit wonder for Alyssa. Okay. I don't like gory or scary things, especially in TVs or movies. Nope. Yes, red light, green light. That's what they were playing. Oh my gosh, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Yeah, I couldn't. Can handle it in books, but not like in movies and TV. I find it harder almost in the books. Like, I never even tried to read the Hunger Games books either because I just couldn't do it. My own brain, I have such too much imagination that I can't do it. Red light, green light. That's the game that I was done. I was like, okay, I'm not clicking on this anymore because of that. I'm not clicking on it on Squid Games. It did it. It did it. The sweater and my cat separately. I don't think I will take a picture of her with it on. Does she not like the sweater, Tina? You're forcing her into it. You're one of those cat moms. All right. Everyone needs the Rex. Oh my gosh. I never tried to put clothes on her, so I don't know how she'll handle it. I can tell you how she's going to handle it. She's not. It's going to be the Squid Games for you and her. All right, Lulu, this is funny. I don't like reading about gore or watching it on TV, but I love the sounds it makes on TV. Oh my gosh. All right, I have a terrible story to tell you. Speaking of the sounds it makes and how I'm traumatized by sounds. So I used to be a lawyer, and I used to work. I used to work for the city of New York, and I used to have to work some police cases. And one of the cases that it wasn't my case. It was one of my best friends at the law department. Was her case, and there was a 911 call from inside the house, obviously, where it was a little girl who'd made the 911 call, and you could hear what was happening in the background. And it was her father with an axe. Whoops. That's my alarm telling me I got to go do something. Hacking up the rest of the family. And so, like, sounds, just, I can't. The sounds, Lula, the sounds. All right. Mika says the hero in Squid Games a book too? Is it like, is it based off of a book? Because maybe I could read the book. I don't know. It's a cool concept. I actually like the concept of it. But okay, the hero is portrayed like a real loser. But when he finds himself in this terrible situation, he clings to his humanity. He tries not to hurt anybody as much as he can avoid it. All right, so he's a hero. I like that. Oh, we shouldn't do spoilers. I was going to ask you, does he win the game in the end? But no spoilers, no spoilers. Tina, this sounds can sound horrific, but kind of like oh my God. No, we are not having those kinds of sounds in the background of our reading. We wouldn't be able to read, Tina. Oh. Yes, I did used to be a lawyer. I could tell you some stories. Oh my God, Tina says, yeah. Kimberly says, yeah. We don't want any of those kinds of sounds as the background to our life, right? I used to be unable to stomach the sounds of gore, but then I saw a documentary about how the sounds are made. It was just a bunch of guys destroying vegetables. And that's what makes that would make like a hacking If you're yeah. Whoa. Whoa. It took him like 20 years to write it. Or 10 years to write, 20 years. I can't even read. I can't read. I had a terrible encounter. Uh-oh. She touched my shoulder at Disney World and said, "Excuse me, my group is up ahead. I can't stand touch." How did you know she was a lawyer? I can't stand touch. It ruined my day. Oh my gosh. That's not good. I thought you were going to say I had a terrible encounter with a lawyer because the lawyer, I thought you were going to tell me a bad lawyer joke and I was going to go. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. At Disney World, Lula, where do you live? What were you on vacation at Disney World or do you like live in Orlando? And was it Disney in Orlando or was it like Disney Paris? Because if you got Disney Paris ruined, that would be terrible. I mean, Disney Orlando would be terrible too, but I don't know. Oh my gosh. Wow. We got a lot going on in this group. Her niece told me, "I'm so sorry about my aunt." Oh, and she thinks she's better than everyone else. Okay, that is a little bit of a common thing among doctors and among a lot of professions, I guess. Yeah. That's nice that her niece, at least her niece recognized that there was something bad had happened and apologized. That's nice anyway. Oh gosh. Oh boy. I used to want to be a lawyer, Tina says. Okay, Tina, what happened that you changed your mind? I never wanted to be a lawyer until I did. I was on vacation. I live in Texas. Do you live in Houston? Because I love Houston, and I love Houston because of the rodeo. Oh my gosh. So poor Lula was on vacation at Disney World and got her day ruined. That stinks. Maybe you could write a story about it. And it could be like a revenge story. And Kimberly could work on the Kimberly and Tina can work on the background hacking sounds when the revenge goes bad. It could be like a Count of Monte Cristo, but like Squid Game style. Near Denton. Okay. All right. Very cool. I thought you were probably going to say Austin because I feel like everybody is like, "Oh, I live in Austin." I realized it's too much school for me. I couldn't handle the emotional aspect. Well, I'll tell you what, they get rid of that emotional aspect for you in law school, for sure. That's really like a lot of what they do in law school is just about teaching you how to like think like a lawyer. Yeah. Anyway, funny. Oh, I know how we got on the lawyer thing because of the sound effects and the gore. Oh my gosh, you guys were hilarious. All right, so 6:05. I have to jet out of here at 6:45, which gives us 40 minutes. So we could still do one more 25-minute reading sprint and then have a little bit of time to chit chat after. Should we do it? Does that sound good? One more 25-minute sprint, and then we'll come back and talk for like 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, cool. Anybody? Everybody? I'm setting my alarm. Mika says, sure. Tina's in for another 25. All right. Lula, Kimberly, Alyssa, what do you think? Are you here for another 25? Yeah. All right. I'm going to start it now. And I will see you then at like 6:30. Yeah. All right. So like right around 6:30, we'll come back and talk for like 15 minutes. All right. Here we go. Start. All right. All right, time's up. What do we got? I did really good with my reading. I did like 1, 2, 3 pages, and I understood them, pretty much all of them. We're back at the part of the story that I like the first couple chapters were good, and I was like, oh, this is a good book. But then she went out to sea, and I was confused. And then there were poems and a cat, and I was confused. So now we're back in the garden in Madrid, and I'm not confused anymore. Alyssa. Alyssa was playing Uno until 5 minutes ago, and she read 1 chapter. Alyssa, who are you playing Uno with? I haven't played Uno in like a million years. I don't even think I remember how to play Uno. I used to love it though. Who were you playing with? Tina read 5% and she ate something. I don't know what I'm going to eat. I guess I'm going to eat late tonight. What did you eat, Tina? Something yummy? I read 2 really good pages, and I only really had to look up like not that many words. My Discord, forgive me. Oh, Alyssa. Oh boy. Were you playing with Kimberly? Kimberly, did you read? Where are you going? How are you going with the writers retreat? The writing retreat. The writing retreat? The writers retreat? I got it wrong. I can't remember. Yeah. How are you going? And Mika, I feel like we're not hearing from Mika because Mika is like deep into like spy world. She got 23 pages. You're in the same Discord. Oh, you guys are friends. I love it. I had yogurt and an orange. That sounds really healthy, but not very filling. Yeah. All right. Kimberly's got 50. Kimberly, you did really good. That's what happens when you don't play Uno with your friends. All right. She's waiting for your review. So you better finish today. That's what she said earlier, I think. All right, Lula, I realized I've read part of this before, so I've been flipping through it looking for something I don't recognize. Really? You're reading the third book, and you've already read it. Interesting. And kind of frustrating. I need to know how this book ends. I know. Kimberly's like, we're not going to stop and chat. We got to read. Oh my gosh. You are committed. You read a lot in those 30 minutes, 50 pages. Yeah, you read a lot. I think you're a fast reader. Are you? Fast reader. Or it's just an easy to read. Alyssa's not picking it up until you leave your review, until we know. How do we like know who you are? How do we follow you? How do we put your info? Tell us we want to know what you think. I've read some of the individuals, so I'm looking for where I left off at the compendium. Oh my gosh, it's so frustrating. Is it frustrating? How far in? Well, you're 30% in. And are you just now realizing you've read part of it before? Oh my goodness. I guess you didn't read the first third before. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, my book is getting good. We're back to the garden in Madrid where like we met. So in the first part, I know like there are 4 women who are like the key. I don't have 10 people to follow like Mika in her book. I have like 4 women to follow their different stories. The 4 women are the women that buy flowers. as per the title. And then there's one like their fearless leader, I think. So we're back to, I haven't met the other three women. I've only met the one woman who's telling the story, the narrator, and the guide. So in this chapter that I finally got to, I meet at least one more of the women. So it's starting to come back together. I'm excited. All right. So that's my Goodreads. What's your Goodreads? Oh, where you leave your reviews is on your Goodreads. Oh, I don't always write reviews though. Yeah, yeah. What's the genre, Vivian? It's just a novel. It's in Portuguese, and so it's, I don't know, women's literature or something. I literally picked it up off of the bookshelf in the bookstore last summer because I'm trying to learn Portuguese and I wanted to read a book that I thought I would enjoy that was like a grown-ups book, not a children's book, even though my Portuguese is definitely not like, I'm reading way above grade level on this one, but I wanted like a grown-up book. So I picked this one up because it looked like it was written like sort of simply, and I might be able to like understand it. It wouldn't be way over my head. So yeah, it's women's fiction. Yeah. I think YouTube removed a link. What's your at? Is it at Kimberly A? I believe I left off at the part with the whisperers. Oh, all right. So you're remembering it. And now you're just searching for the whisperers part. I don't even know what that means because I don't really know these books. I'm glad it is coming back together. I'm getting super, and the parts with the four women in them or the two women or where it's back to Madrid, I understand it more. Those parts I was reading the last couple of chapters where like, I don't know, she's going off in a boat in the sea. I don't know. I feel like it's jumping back and forth in time maybe, and that's why I'm confused. Ooh, languages are hard. I probably have to approve it. I have to approve it. Ezekiel's tiger dies at some point. Oh boy. You know the spoilers. Is that a spoiler? I'm a little behind on posting pictures. Are you at Kimberly A on Goodreads? Is that how we find you? I don't know about the books, but in the show, the whispers happen way after the tiger dies. Oh boy, you guys all know about this. Lula and Tina. I don't know anything about this. Should I read these? Should I find out about them? This is so funny. We're all like desperately trying to find Kimberly. Yeah, because I can't click your, oh, hang on. Can I click your thing and find out? No. No, I don't want to put you in timeout or block you. No videos on YouTube by Kimberly, but you have the Goodreads, right? Do you have do you have Instagram? Do you have, we don't know. We all want to know what you think about the writing retreat. We are desperate. I know, right? Kimberly, you're like, what? She's trying to be, maybe Mika, maybe Kimberly's a character in your book. And she's like, the spyware, I'm supposed to not get caught. I'm going to lose my $3 million. I can't let anyone know where I am. All right. We can't lose you $3 million. I would not begrudge anybody a $3 million payday. So far, it's 5 stars, and you're almost done. Kimberly, do you do the kind of thing where you give like 6 stars or like an extra bonus if it's like the best book? Or like, is there anything, can the end really ruin it that much? If you're 5 starring it right now, the end could bring it down to like 4.5, 4, 3. I feel like when you're this far into it and it's 5 stars, something dramatic would have to happen to make it a less than 5 stars, right? Am I alone in this? Anybody else disagree, agree? Endings make me nervous. Have you ever read an ending that you were like, that took a 5-star book to look like a 3-star book? There is so much at stake, especially if you're loving it. It can be like so disappointing, or it can be like the greatest thing that ever happened, right? The ending. 5 means I loved it. 4 is really enjoyed. 3, I didn't hate it. 2, I didn't love it. Disliked, loathed. Have you ever loathed a book? I've loathed a book once. Endings can definitely lower the rating for sure, or raise them. Gone Girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I read an ending that took a 2, 3-star book to a 5-star book. Ugly Love? It went from a 2, 3 to a 5. Oh my gosh, I'm reading Ugly Love. It's coming up. When am I reading it? Hang on, let me look. Ugly Love is on my reading list for June. Okay, I'm doing Ugly Love, Verity, and Confess in June. Am I going to have a hard time picking a book of the month? I am, because I've also got my 2 books for book club are like really good in June. June's going to be rough. Same. The ending is so important. A 2, 3-star to a 5-star. All right. I love Gillian Flynn, but I feel like Gone Girl is her weakest. All right, then I got to read some more Gillian Flynn. Not Ugly Love. Ugly Love wasn't your 5-star, your 2, 3 to 5-star. I've had endings make a book get better ratings. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You schedule your reading. I schedule some of it just so that I know, like at the beginning of the month, because I'm in 2 book clubs and I'm trying to do a reading challenge. I'm trying to like do the All by Colleen Hoover reading challenge this year. So I have my 2 book club books that I have to schedule. And then I need to know like which of the Colleen Hoover books I'm reading just to stay on track with my challenge, or otherwise it's December and I'm like, I got to read 26 Colleen Hoover books this month. So I have those scheduled. And then I just fill in with like the other books that I want to read throughout the month. So I do schedule some of my reading, but not all of it. I have enough space to like throw something in there every so often. Her other books are pretty special, pretty dark, and seriously flawed heroines. Well, I feel like that's what makes them interesting and like completely unseeable, right? You don't see what's coming with Gillian Flynn. Yeah. I can't schedule. Wow. Randomly pick the book and you just read it. And you don't know anything about it. You're just like, oh, here's the book. I'm reading it and I love it or I hate it. I like that. Most of my books, I don't know anything about before I read them. I just like, I don't know anything about any of these Colleen Hoover books other than people are raving about her. And I did read the first paragraph of Verity. Somebody posted it in a Facebook group, like, I don't know, last year or something. And I was like, holy crap. That's like, wow. That first paragraph is killer, literally. I just read whenever I want to, whatever and whenever, probably. Yeah. But if you were in 2 book clubs and you were trying to do a challenge, you might have to schedule. I have almost 400 books on my physical TBR. Oh my gosh. Alyssa, you can just go like, are you going to read them all? You probably keep adding them too, right? So like next week, there'll be 420 books on your TBR. Do you actually read books off of your TBR? I have been trying to do that this year because I don't see any reason to have them on there. I want to read them. Nothing. If you hear the synopsis, I won't be interested in reading it anymore. Yeah. And I definitely don't read reviews. And I'll only read the synopsis if it's like a book that someone recommended to me and I look at the cover and I'm like, I don't know. Then I'll read the synopsis, like the first paragraph, and be like, oh, okay. Or I'll go, oh, no, not for me. Yeah. I like going in kind of blind. I thought I wanted to read Stephen King, but I read the blurb on one of them and immediately changed my mind. Yeah, that's the problem with blurbs. And that's the problem with reviews. And I read a book last month that was not, it was a book that I read the blurb because it was a book club book that I was supposed to lead the discussion. And I didn't know anything about the book going into reading it. And I was like, you know what? Let me just get an idea of what the book is about since I'm supposed to lead the book club discussion. So I read it. And then, like, I was like, as I'm reading the book, I was like, this is not what the book is about. Who wrote this? All right. Try to read a book a day. Alyssa, wow. That's a lot of books. That's a lot of books. I limit myself to 12 books total. When I want more, I have to donate or trade them at the Little Free Library. I love the Little Free Library. We don't have those in Portugal, but I saw them when I was in the US a couple months ago now. I was like, oh, look, there's a little library. There's another little library. I love them. I read reviews if I'm debating, whether or not you're going to finish it or not finish it. Interesting. So if enough people are like, you got to read to the end to get the payoff, then you're like, okay, I guess I'll read to the end. Interesting. Synopsis give away so much these days. And I'm so investigative. I also read thriller and horror. Oh, then yeah, that ruins it for you for sure. For sure. I have a lot of time. You must have a lot of time if you're reading a book a day. But I love that. That's like, Alyssa, you need to join my summer reading challenge. It's like a reading challenge and a book club. It's like everything all rolled into one. We're like, come and join it. Sign up. Oh my God. There, it's telling me I have to go to my other thing, my writing group. Okay, close, stop. All right. I'm sorry. I have to like go to a writing group that I signed up for. And tonight was the only night they were doing it. And I was like, dang, I'm a stay-at-home dog mom. I listen on 3 times speed. Who was telling me? Tina, Mika, you guys were saying you listen at like super high speeds to audiobooks. So most books are only 5 hours. All right. Well, still reading 5 hours a day is like impressive. As long as like you're retaining it and you're getting a lot out of it, right? That's very cool. I also have this issue where I won't read a book if I don't like the texture of the paper. I have autism. I don't like some textures. Interesting. I've never heard that before. I did read, so I read Ann Patchett last month, and she talks about how she's learned a lot about books as she's been like, writing them and publishing them. And one of the things she learned that she talked about in the book was that the different textures of the paper. And I had never even, I've been on a Kindle like almost exclusively for 10 years now. And so I just don't even remember what paper feels like. But that's interesting. If you don't like the texture, you can't read it. Interesting. Yep, Tina's at double the speed. I think Mika is too. I think we talked about this the last time. Yeah. All right. I am off to my writing group. And And you guys, thank you so much for coming to read with me. This was super, super fun. Um, I do it every Wednesday night or afternoon or morning, whatever time it is where you are. So if you guys are around next week, come and read with me. All right. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Ciao.